Hello everyone, my name is Mateo or Oaklane. Just before I cut to the interview, I just want to explain a few things about it. So this is the first interview that I have done, and I'm probably going to be making it a series, interviewing different people to gain a better understanding of their morals, values, and just like their backgrounds in general. This was with my grade 7 and 8 music teacher, who always made class interesting and enjoyable for me. Even though I wasn't really interested in any instruments, I still enjoyed his classes, and he always made me want to come back for more. Unfortunately, we did do the interview outside, so there was a lot of wind that I had to try and edit out in post production. But some clips are just overtaken by the sound of wind. Yeah, so I reduced it as much as possible, but also added subtitles for the entire interview just to make it more understandable. Okay, that's it. Enjoy.
Stefan Sikorski. I am a teacher at Ashbury College. I am also a captain in the military reserves and director of music for the Governor General's Foot Guards. This is my 13th year teaching. I have 2 kids. I've been married for a while now, coming up to 13 years, and am enjoying this nice day and going to have a good conversation with Mateo over here.
Of course. What was your first job?
Soccer referee at the age of 12.
Oh, wow.
So I just refereed like little kids games for a while.
Right.
And then as soon as I hit grade 9, I was a dishwasher at a golf course. And then I became a line cook in grade 11.
In the golf course?
Yeah, it's the same place. Okay. So upgraded from dishwasher type thing to line cook. Did that all through grade 11, grade 12. I worked construction with my uncle for a summer, and then after first year at university, all my summers were with the Canadian Forces.
Right.
Even though you're maybe doing menial work, whatever, chopping onions, cleaning floors, if you're working with a good crew, then that's probably just the best part about it. Oh, and we got free golf.
Free golf?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Free golf. So I got pretty good at golf, and we would take advantage of that over the summers for sure.
Before coming to Ashbury, you were in the regimental band of the Governor General's Foot Guards.
Yeah,
correct?
Well, still am.
Still am.
But yeah, so technically I was with 7th Toronto Royal Canadian Artillery when I was doing my degrees in Toronto, and then when I moved to Ottawa for this job, then transferred to a unit, which is the Governor General's Foot Guards, which is located in Ottawa.
Yeah, and generally people have kind of preconceived notions that the military is always strict, organized, very low tolerance. Or what's something that your friends did when you were in the military to release some tension or pass the time?
Well, within the military, the trade that I went into is as a musician. So within that subset of people in the military, you're already kind of not the norm, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, infantry people where, it's their job to, secure objectives on foot with weapons, that kind of thing. That's also another subset of people, right? Then you have engineers, you have, first, medics, you have all this. So I would say that it depends on, what subset of trade you go into. That's also very indicative of personalities, right? So for us, blowing off steam, usual kind of things, right? You go out as a group and, especially back then, there still is very much a culture of, drinking alcohol, whatever, partying, that kind of thing, and, did that basically to the max outside of work, and, you're expected to show up at, 0600 the next day, shaved, fresh-faced, ready to go, and you're inspected, and your room's inspected, and make sure that your bed looks good, everything's a standard, your shoes are polished to a certain way, your room is organized in a certain way. All these things were checked daily, right?
Oh, really?
So for someone like me who that didn't really, organization and standardization is not really my strong suit. It's something I had to work at, but, eventually it came to benefit me down the road for sure. So. you're socially conditioned to accept orders.
Right.
And that's not ever something that came naturally to me.
What's like a situation or an event that you experienced like throughout your life that you remember as being like a real character builder?
I would say that as a musician, like learning my craft, it never came easy to me. So any audition that I did or, placement, that kind of thing, I never did super well on. I got some pretty harsh feedback and stuff, but I knew that it was something that I wanted to do, and every kind of skill that I had or every shred of talent that I've got for myself, I've had to work for and really work hard at in order to internalize and to make sound easy. That being said, fourth year university, when I started conducting, that was something that came easier to me musically than other things. And then when I got into the job force, let's say, like as a teacher, character builder moment was when I had 2 young kids. I was getting like maybe 4 hours of sleep a night type thing. Still expected to do my job really well in class, but kind of, how do I put this diplomatically?
You can say how.
Butted heads with my administrator in terms of philosophies of what is important in the job, and to the point where they threatened my job, even though it wasn't. They couldn't, because we do have a union here.
Yeah.
And so the process that they would need to follow in order to do that would mean me having a poor evaluation as a teacher, which I've never had. I've always had very, very good evaluations in terms of my in-class performance. So navigating differences in philosophies with someone who controls a large part of your job, I would say was very eye-opening and a huge character builder in terms of learning how to play politics, learning how to, say things but believe other things, and staying true to, what you feel is important, and, carrying on that way.
Right. Are you familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Yeah.
So at the top there's self-actualization. Who do you think, what relationship in your life do you think helped you, like...
With my wife?
Yeah. Okay.
So we're very good partners. We've been together for, since like 2006 or whatever it is, like beyond our marriage, like 17, 18 years now. In terms of having someone that will always give you the unaltered truth, regardless of, let's say, how it might make you feel to some extent, right?
Yeah.
Just having someone who's always going to be completely honest with you, and just help me grow as a person and truly understand, like, with what my passions are and what I wanted to pursue and how I wanted to pursue it. It's important. Yeah, big time.
So that's a good skill to have, being able to like adapt and stuff.
Yeah, it's good. And you know what? Now I'm finding that it's more fun to teach when you have, a lot of different ways to kind of, hook kids into music, right? Where it's not just like, I'm playing a band instrument, disgusting, like, blah, blah, like, you remember how it is, right? Some kids will buy into it, and some won't. And so now this way, hopefully they buy into music maybe through a different way, and then when they get to band instruments, it's not like insane to make that jump.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
It's good.
I think that's like a big problem with school is like they like show it to you like one way.
Yeah.
But for people who like don't, I don't know, like contain information the same way, they're kind of like left lost, and like most of the time they just like drop out or they don't even pursue school after high school.
Yeah, and I would say pedagogically, the standard is that you should be trying to adapt your courses to as many learning styles as possible, but that's not necessarily the case, right? And so some teachers do it better than others. It took a pandemic for me to kind of step back and rethink things because I knew how to do one thing, knew how to do one thing really well, and it worked. And so I kept doing that.
Yeah.
Pandemic was like, oh no, you can't blow wind in an enclosed space. So now you need to figure out different things to do. So yeah, no, it's been good. It's like League is like you need at least 2 hours chunked out of your day.
True.
Without interruptions, and like I just don't have that luxury anymore. And like it was fun while I was doing it, but it was also just like a heavy form of escapism, right? And it was enjoyable, and I could do it during maybe my prep period sometimes, and when I was super busy outside of class with like the reserves and stuff, and so during school that was the only time I kind of had to myself, and so it was fun. But now I've taken up something else. So like I run a boxing club now. I'm like an amateur boxer, so I have a fight coming up, which is like my third fight.
You're joking.
No.
I recently like took up like boxing and Muay Thai.
Did you?
Yeah.
So which club do you go to?
I go to the one on Main Street.
Which one?
Ottawa Fight Fitness.
Yeah. So I go to Beaver Boxing.
Beaver Boxing.
Yeah, which
I
is
heard that one.
Yeah, so they're like super old school.
Wait, you have a fight coming up?
Yeah, June 10th.
Oh man, wait, I gotta.
I'll send you the details.
Oh, man.
It's. I should be fighting. It's still like they're finalized. It's our club we're hosting, so I'll get a fight if they can match someone up at my weight at 180.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, I'll find out in the next couple of weeks.
That's so cool. I would never expected that.
Yeah. So this has been my new obsession, right? So this is kind of like, I haven't touched League because I'm just like I'm either doing road work or I'm just like in the gym. I'm just working on that.
No, I think that's definitely an improvement.
Absolutely. Like League was just like a result of me. I was either I just finished doing my master's too, so I had like way more time in university to kind of like mess around with that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't even I love video games. I still I barely touch them anymore.
Yeah,
I just don't have time, and I miss it in some ways, but in some ways it's really time consuming and not necessarily
like the ups and downs are insane. Like if you like lose a game, I feel like maybe that's when I was a kid, but like my whole day was ruined.
Oh yeah.
No,
I didn't get
that's probably just like a kid thing.
Yeah, I didn't get too triggered.
Oh, I got really triggered. Did you have any like heroes or role models growing up? Anything that might have like possibly influenced why you go into music or anything you believe in today?
So funny enough, I kind of knew I wanted to go into music from a pretty early age. Like I started playing piano when I was 6. I took up the trumpet when I was 8, and I liked my music teachers. I looked up to my music teachers going through high school. So I would say if there was a role model, it would probably be one of my high school music teachers. But other than that, I kind of carve my own path in certain ways. And there's like, how people you respect, maybe you take certain elements of, maybe how they run a rehearsal or how they comport themselves or how they create relationships. But there wasn't ever like one person that there's still different people that I keep in contact with and have good professional relationships, but not, someone I'm calling for advice or what should I do in this difficult situation.
You take what people say and you just like fuse it into yourself.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
If a younger person came to you asking what's the most important thing for living your life, what would you tell them? As in like achieving what you wanted, like being happy. Like what would you say to like get them to keep going forward and not like giving up?
I would say a facet of finding success and not giving up that is often overlooked is discipline, right? So wanting to do something enough that even when you don't want to do it, you still do it.
Yeah.
You find the time to come back to it every day. You revisit it. You hone your craft. You look for experts elsewhere and are humble enough to take their advice, and being able to look in the mirror and give yourself a good self-assessment and say, so you don't think that you're peaking too early, really, and wondering why you're not successful because you're holding yourself back and not being, truthful about where you are, and
Right.
being as ruthless with yourself as possible, I would say, in conjunction with having that discipline.
I think having a routine is like something that a lot of kids don't know.
Yeah.
That could be like insane to
Absolutely.
like helping their lives.
Yeah.